From the Detroit Free Press, in the heart of the Motor City, it's Wednesday, June 17th. Here are today's top stories.
Brought to you by JB's Smokehouse, located inside Bush's Fresh Food Market of Canton. JB's offers a range of authentic barbecue favorites, from beef brisket and mac and cheese to fried green tomatoes and pulled pork tacos. JB's is sure to become your new favorite barbecue spot.
This is Todd Spangler, Washington correspondent for the Detroit Free Press. Earlier this month, a poll done by Epic MRA of Lansing showed Joe Biden leading President Trump by 12 points in Michigan. Now, a second poll by the firm shows Biden leading Trump 55% to 39%. That's a very big lead of 16 percentage points. Admittedly, a lot of people are skeptical about polls, but these latest ones follow trends in Michigan and several other battleground states where Trump is struggling. His support seems to have been hurt by his administration's response to coronavirus, as well as his reaction to protests against police brutality. There is still plenty of time for the president to battle back, however, and it's possible the race will get a lot closer in the months to come.
I'm Paul Egan reporting for the Detroit Free Press. The Michigan State Police says it wants to improve its diversity, but progress is slow. On Tuesday, the agency graduated 65 new recruits. Only 4, or 6%, were black. That's about in line with the racial makeup of the department as a whole. Michigan, meanwhile, is 14% black. Colonel Joseph Gasper wants to boost the minority applicant pool to 25%. It's not easy to find black applicants, partly because many blacks have had few positive experiences with the police. Detroit lawyer Leonard Mungo says the agency needs to revamp its screening and entry tests. He says they discriminate against blacks.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm restaurant critic Mark Kurlianchik. Last week, we published a story about local chef Chad Barrett after several women came forward on social media alleging he'd been abusive to them. A few phone calls to a couple different courthouses confirmed the basis of the stories of at least 2 of Barrett's alleged victims. An ex-fiancé pressed charges against him in 2011, leading to a plea deal in 2012. And now, another ex has pressed charges in New Baltimore, again for domestic violence. In recent years, Barrett gained some notoriety after a pair of appearances on the Food Network show Guy's Grocery Games. And before the allegations hit, he was preparing to open a new restaurant in Chesterfield as its executive chef. But he was let go of those duties just before our story went live. Afterwards, the Food Network and an affiliated wine and food festival in New York City both distanced themselves from the chef. His episodes of Guy's Grocery Games have been pulled from rotation, and the festival will not be inviting him back. Barrett is scheduled to be arraigned on the most recent charges next month. You can follow the latest developments in the case at freep.com.
I'm Adrienne Roberts for the Detroit Free Press. Barbershops, hair salons, and spas were allowed to reopen across Michigan Monday. But this wasn't the same pre-pandemic experience. At K-Bella Hair Studio and Spa in Brighton, customers waited in their car and then met a receptionist outside to do a health screening and a temperature check. Complimentary wine was no longer an option, and prices have increased. Appointments need to be spaced out, and fewer people can be in the salon at one time. Expect some version of this experiences at other salons, and be prepared to have to wait for an appointment. Salons and barbershops say appointments are filling up fast. But still, customers say it was worth the wait and felt noticeably lighter after their first haircut in more than 3 months.
This is Evan Petzold from the Free Press Sports Department. The Detroit Lions joined a growing list of NFL teams in observing Juneteenth this Friday as a permanent organizational holiday, the team announced Tuesday afternoon. Staff members are being encouraged to use the day to reflect and further their awareness of racial inequality and social injustice. Juneteenth recognizes the end of slavery in the United States. On June 19, 1865, Union soldiers read federal orders in Galveston, Texas, to explain the Civil War was over and all enslaved people were free. It was more than 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed by President Abraham Lincoln. Other NFL teams recognizing Juneteenth as a holiday are the Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs, Dallas Cowboys, Carolina Panthers, and Houston Texans. The Broncos and Chiefs announced their decision Monday, with the Cowboys, Panthers, Lions, and Texans following suit. On Friday, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell told his staff the league will observe Juneteenth as a holiday, meaning the NFL will shut down its office for the day.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer.